are themselves, the nicer they are. But there are so many that are just not very pleasant people, and you of course, you do mention quite a lot of them. What were some that really stand out for you as being like, you just wouldn't get everything?
Well, the Pedro tool, he wasn't nasty, he was just sort of total history, total gone. I played cricket with him, played with his balls a little bit. But it was, he was just out of his head all the time, and he was rude to the staff, all the staff, and aggressive with the staff. He'd come on stage, hang off the curtain. So he was a bit scary. Give me a clue.
I think you mentioned there was a Barishnikov as well. There was also
oh yes, and a Sashworth with Barishnikov actually. And in the curtain, it was a curtain call time, and he came there, and they couldn't find him. He was upstairs in the green room watching himself on a movie in the green room, White Knight or something. He didn't do the curtain call, and then Topol, bells ring. Sash worked with him, and he said he was a really just vile. I mean, I've got to be honest and say he was the worst person he's ever met, Sash said. And Sash worked very hard for him. He got an award actually for, what's the award called, Sash? Duty award at the end of the run, fiddle on the roof. Yeah. So but most have been good, and I find that most of the big names, the really big names, are really nice people, really good people.
You briefly mentioned Joan Sutherland.
Yeah, I met her at the green room in the Opera House. I was working there in a book. We had quite a long talk, and then she said, Peter, you've asked too many questions, and I'm freezing cold. So, bye, she said. But she was delightful. She was absolutely charming, but she was very firm that I had to move on.
The reason I asked about that is because you mentioned being on stage as one of the super.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was with her when she sang the Bell song, yes. Right behind her in that May. I just didn't melt. I couldn't believe I was there. This living legend in front of me. Hear her singing live. Just near her. I couldn't miss it. Quite a nice woman, but it was a magical moment. And then I did Aida with on the concert hall, which was huge. But I just clowned around. I was sorry.
So you kept winking your song in
different places with us pulling the swords and mucking around. It was so boring, so long. And then Carmen, which I loved that because a lot of bullfighting and then a lot of tight costume.
Now, let's talk again about your other brush with the law. Of course, the infamous Claridge's episode.
Well, it made more headlines that year than the Falklands War. Yeah, true.
Why was that exactly?
Because I married this woman here, and she's in a show called Honey High. And when I got married, some ex of mine, all of a sudden there were picture exes of mine everywhere. The sex I must have had. Good Lord, with Red Raw. Some guy phoned the son and said, I believe your suit client is marrying this chap who I had sex with on the tabletop, a pool table. And so they got a hold of that and phoned up, and they phoned the church, they had to cancel and move the church. And the headline the next day was Heidi High Star marries Hody Homo. And then the rest of it was the same. And then I was working, before that actually, I was working at Claridge's, and it's a long story, it's in the book, not very long really, but this money we're missing, I think it was £4,000 or something.
I think we're going to hear a little bit.
Yes, isn't it? Yes. But that trial was, I don't know how I survived it. It'd be like today really was, but truly it was the most terrifying. It was like I wasn't there watching myself in a movie, and then that's 12 jury there on one side, all this stuff. Happy ending, it was really good, really exceptionally, as you know, the ending was very special. But it was quite an experience. Yeah, I don't know. But the week after, I went to Scotland with Mum and Dad to get away from all the press, and all of a sudden I couldn't cope. I couldn't sit still. It must have been like a what do you call it now, post-traumatic stress thing. I'm sure it was. I couldn't feel more than usual. You know, and you're always that anyhow. Even more than that. Just some horrendous. I wanted to vomit. I couldn't. It was horrendous. Must have been that, I think, because it was everywhere we were hanging on the roof. Binoculars, on tree tops, hanging with trying photographs in the house. We should just shut the curtains, sir, for God's sake. And she was, but it was a hard time, and learning. I grew a lot. And the loyalty of English people. We had 2 nasty incidents, really horrible. But the rest of it, we got literally bags of mail to both of us saying, we admire you both, we think you're terrific, we believe in you. And in the street, because I highly liked both of us. And we both opened faiths, we had to both go to the Lord Mayor's parade on floats. And every function was always Mr. and Mrs. Keogh. It was just brilliant, yeah. So the English people I love, they're very soft-spoken, they're very good to me.
Speaking of your love for English people, and also your relationship with Sue, which seems to be quite extraordinary in many ways. One of the things that made me laugh was when all these former associates, should we say, started coming out of the woodwork. I was thinking to myself, well, the sex couldn't have been that memorable. It seems hilarious, doesn't it?
Oh, they're everywhere, truly. And we go to function, I get little notes from married men, which is quite ugly. But then they had a note at the front door once saying, to Sue Pollard's husband, not my name in it, a big love letter and so on. But for some reason, there were all these people who said that. But even a friend at school, I was teaching at school, went cold on me. I said, what's going on here? And he said, I heard you had sex with a friend of mine while Sue was away. I said, what are you talking about? This is just it's rubbish. I can prove it was rubbish. But just one of the things that crosses the way. Lots of pros, a few cons with the relationship. Yeah, that was one of the few things.
So the relationship itself. I mean, what was the attraction? How did that come about between this chemistry between the two of you? Because it seems there was chemistry.
Yeah, absolutely, total matchup. Because I always wanted to be married, but Dad mainly, I think. Always wanted to have kids, and I love kids, still do. The Sash is barren, unfortunately. We tried. I just couldn't. I wanted a wife. All my friends, I had very few gay friends. They were all married couples, and they were happy, they loved each other, and they all.